Hello everyone, I'm the Whiskey Enthusiast. Welcome back to my channel. On this episode of the Owls Obscure Whiskey Wednesdays, we're looking into the Ballindalloch Distillery. Now, one of our members in our whiskey club went to the distillery, did like a barley to bottle kind of thing, spend a whole day there, see what their production was, and grabbed a few bottles and explained his time and shared his time with us at the distillery. Unfortunately, at the last minute, I had a thing I couldn't attend, but he was kind enough to give me some samples of these. This is Owls because I think they're all like seasonal releases and stuff, but I have not had any Ballindalloch before. I've heard of it, but I'm not entirely sure what they do. So it was just a good opportunity for me to share my first impressions. As I make my first impressions, I'll share it with you. And if you had any Ballindalloch, you can please let me know down, at the comments, and we can talk about it. Or if you heard of them, or if you were interested in them, this might shine a very tiny light on what I think of them. So, first impressions of the distillery and first impressions of all of it. I have not tried any of them yet. I have only 1.5 CL samples. So take it with a big handful of salt. But it's as honest and as raw as they come. So see what you think. Okay, Ballindalloch Distillery, located in the Speyside region of Scotland. It's renowned as one of the country's first single estate distilleries, meaning they do their own barley and they grow it there. So established in 2014 by the Macpherson-Grant family, who have resided at the Ballindalloch Estate since 1546. Distillery emphasizes traditional whiskey-making techniques in a commitment to quality over quantity. They have worm tubs situated outside, so they are doing things right. They utilize barley grown exclusively on the estate. They have award-winning Angus beefs, which the draft of the barley goes to, where they eat. They do sustainable production, and I'll read this bit. While Ballindalloch is one of Scotland's newest whiskey distilleries and perhaps one of the prettiest, its story runs as far as back as the 16th century. Built within the grounds of Ballindaloch Castle, I'll put some photos there. On the bank of River Avon, this distillery marks the return of the Macpherson-Grant family to the distilling industry. The castle itself was built in the Macpherson-Grants invested in Cragganmore. So Sir George Macpherson-Grant leased part of the Ballindalloch estate to distiller John Smith to build Cragganmore Distillery. And after Smith died in 1923, the family became joint owners of the distillery with White Horse Distillers. Macpherson-Grants remained involved with Cragganmore for the best part of the 20th century, eventually selling their stake to DCL in 1965. And now they're back. In 2011, Guy Macpherson-Grant, 23rd generation of the family and current occupier of the Ballindalloch Castle, began construction of the distillery. Hailing itself as Scotland's first single estate distillery, Ballindalloch uses barley harvested from its own fields and feeds its award-winning Aberdeen Angus cattle on the draft. Okay, production officially began late 2014. Righto. So let's see what we're dealing with. Number one, we're going to go with, I opened some whiskey-based links just to give me a bit of a... not that one, bit of a thing, but they're so small production that it's hard to find proper information. I hope I don't do anything. All right, first one is the Ballindalloch 2015. I'm going to be as fast as I can. Vintage release, distilled in 2015, no chill filtration. I think they're all non-chill filtered, natural color. Limited run of 3,600. Bottled exclusively for UK at 2024. And this is 46% ABV. So it should be 9 years old. And our first ever vintage release for the United Kingdom. Selection of first fill ex bourbon barrels and first fill ex sherry butts. 46% ABV. It's a good place to start with. I have my water as well, but I'm not going to play around. Okay, bourbon and sherry, Ballindalloch, 46% ABV. We'll probably get some decent stuff. Okay. Reminds me a bit of a Daft Mill. There's a bit of a lactic note there. It's very fresh, very lemony. Like I said, First impressions, as raw as they come. White pepper, bit young. I would have said younger than 9. But get your caramel and citric notes. Not olive oil, orange oil. So a bit bitter and sweet and a bit bitey. Okay, on the palate. Yeah, the palate is much better. But it's continuing to be on the spectrum of Daft Mill and Bladnoch. It's quite lactic. That's good. And very orchard fruity. Not super sweet. I think more bourbon forward than sherry forward. Bit bitey, even though it's 46% ABV. I'll even add water to that and then come at the end to see what we're dealing with. Okay, first impressions, Ballindalloch 2015 vintage release. It's all right. It's okay. It's not a revelation. It's a bit of a young sherry than bourbon whiskey. All right, moving on to 2016. Do we have... Yeah, these whiskey-based links are not correct. They're so little. Okay, 2016. Their vintage release. Let's see. This is cask strength. So we're just moving from 46 to 62.4. And beautiful. Bourbon hogshead. It's a single cask. It's a single cask bourbon hogshead and exclusively for UK. Cask number 352 is a first fill bourbon hogshead, which was originally filled on June 2016 and bottled on 2024. Okay, this is 8 years as well. Okay, let's see, 62.4. Jesus, we're just gonna have to deal with some water situation here. Well, let's see on the palate what happens. Very chocolatey, very nutty. It's not a shy nose. I like it. Strawberries, quite creamy. Biscuity. Oat biscuits. Very, very biscuity. It's like, I mean, it's spicy and it's bitey, sure, but it's like the crunch or, actually, it's like a New York style cheesecake. Like there's a creamy, and maybe they just put some strawberry slices on top, but the oat biscuit in the back, quite caramelly and gingery and sweet. Okay, 62.4 on the palate. Okay. Marshmallows, jelly beans, gummy bears, strawberry, apricot, peach, lemon. A bit more grappa-esque now on the palate, but I wouldn't have said this 62.4. It drinks lighter than that. Quite oily. A hint of that lactic note I got with the 15. And now on the nose. But, okay, all right. Let's go with water and then we'll come back to it. Okay, our third expression is going to be this one. Edition number 2. Ballindalloch 7 Springs collection. You can find 7 Springs collection. These probably not, but this you might find. Edition number 2, aged 8 years, cask strength again, bottle 243 of 1200. Okay, you're probably not going to be able to find this one, but some of them. 60.6% ABV. Our second edition of the 7 Springs collection is a testament to the versatility of the Ballindalloch spirit. Aged 8 years in a mixture of bourbon and sherry cask, the single malt reflects the autumn colors of our estate where we have been custodians for 24 generations. Okay, that's it. That really doesn't say much. Bourbon and sherry. So we've had bourbon and sherry, bourbon and sherry. Come here. Honestly, if I finish this tasting without breaking anything, that's on its own is an achievement. Okay. Wow, that's a closed off nose. What did we say? 60.6. Very shiny, very bright. I have that bit of that burnt plastic note, that burnt tire note I get with bourbon and Oloroso sherries, which probably is a bit more dry, hint of molasses, and a bit of a toast. Okay, on the palate. Palate is much better than the nose. Well, nose was shy. Palate, you get a bit more creamy notes. It's bitey. It's interestingly more bitey than 62.4. That sherry is elevating the notes. I get a bit more sulfury notes, a bit of that more burnt plastic, and ginger, burnt honey, caramel, hint of chocolate. Okay, let's play around with water and then we'll get back to that. Okay, our number 4. Whew. Again, 2015. What is this? It's another single cask. Cask strength, of course it is. It's 60.8. Sherry butt. Okay, cask strength, just one single cask. Cask number 112 is an Oloroso sherry butt, which was originally filled on March 2015 and bottled in August 2024. So that would make 9 years and only 653 bottles. Okay, I'm not a massive fan of Oloroso, but on its own, if it's a good cask, then I can do it actually. I just don't like those cheap Oloroso seasons with bottles. What did we say the alcohol was? 60.8. Okay, on the nose. Shut up. Okay, yeah. All right, it's that dark cherry, dry sweetness, nutty, cinnamon, a lot of nutmeg, very nutty. What is the shy nose? Okay, what's happening? Just go away. There we go. Is that? Okay. Okay, let's see on the palate. Wow. That's that's sherry cask strength young whiskey, all right. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of cherry notes, dark cherry, a lot of chocolate notes, roasted nuts, full caramel, caramelized onions. Fuck me, I've never had that, caramelized onions. And now I have it, that acidic balsamic caramelized onions. Yeah, I mean, you get cherry vinegar anyway, so it's kind of going towards that. Its nose is more familiar now. Dark sweets, licorice, cinnamon, nutmeg. Okay, very dark, burnt notes. Burnt caramel, a little bit of burnt toast with marmalade on top. Dark chocolate with oranges. Orange rind with sugar sprinkled on top. It's bitter and sweet. Well, we'll play around with some water now. Okay, might need opening up. All right, and the last one is 2014. This is a cool bottle. In general, I like their bottles and I like their labels. I think they're old school. This is also another single cask and sherry hogshead number 58. And this is 58.3% ABV. Doesn't write. Distilled in October 2014 and same day. Bottled in 23rd of October 2014. So 10 years. Okay. Pretty cool. Okay. Oldest stock sherry hogshead. And what did we say? 58.3. Okay, let's see. Yeah, that's sherry though, right? That's Oloroso right there. I'm just not a fan of Oloroso. I don't know. It just feels so sulfuric, so burnt and plastic to me. Get a bit more, what is that? Chlorine. Very sulfur, burnt matchsticks, plastics. See, I'm not the right person to do this because I don't enjoy it. But if you like Oloroso, this is Oloroso through and through. It's really screaming. Better than the previous one. In that sense, it's really good. Not for me, but for an Oloroso, honestly. For an Oloroso lover. Okay, let's see on the... It's very astringent, very sour as well. You get the same balsamic glaze kind of notes here. very grapey, very winey, but it's also okay on the palate. Okay, on the palate, it's much better for me. I don't know for you, but it's much better on the palate. It's bitey, but not too much. All that sourness is mixed with some nice sweetness. A lot of dark grape notes. A lot of sultanas. Some roasted nuts. I got a nice cinnamon. It's even some sour notes like cheese. It's reminding me everything of I would love at a cheese and wine night. You get some nice manchego and maybe some parmesan. You get some nice, 12, 15 month age balsamic glaze. Nice thick port or red wine. Really tannic. It's very tannic, very sour. Even balsamic caramelized onions, like I said before in the previous one. So as it sherried up, it lost that lactic character, but the previous ones definitely have it. So I'm gonna do round two. So if you just wanna see the watered impressions, wait for round two. Round two. I've put some water on all of them, similar amounts depending on the ABV, not as much as on this. This is 46. Okay, 2015, first one. Yeah, I mean, okay, once you add the water, I'll be not gonna say daft mill again, but it is still around there. Just kind of lost everything. It's became a very light, mineralic, and generally citric malt on the palate. It's calmed down on the palate. Much more creamy now. Really nice. Buttered bread. The lactic note is there, but I like it. It feels somewhere between a Bladnoch and a daft mill. Quite enjoyed that. And it's a nice daily sipper. It became that way. So that's good. Okay, moving on to 2016. This was a combination of sherry and... No, sorry, this is just full bourbon hogshead. Okay. All right, let's see on the nose. Oh, I think that's my favorite. Those oat biscuits. It's incredible. A lot of ginger, a lot of lotus. Yeah, lotus biscuits now. A lot of cinnamon. Very roasted nuts. Very caramel, even banana. It became banana, what is it, banoffee? Banoffee they call it. That dessert with the banana slices and the cookies underneath. That one. Okay, on the palate. Yeah, just give me ex-bourbon, man. Honestly, it's really nice. Those cookies became cookies and cream now. Lactic note is continuing, but I love it. I know some of you don't. And the cookie notes continue. Oats continue. Interestingly, it became more spicy with the water, but fine. It became more ginger cookies and more cinnamon pops. But this is a good, robust one. I mean, obviously, it was the highest ABV of them all, but with enough water, I think it became a nice luxury sipper. I enjoyed that. Okay, let's have some more water. I'll continue with the third one, the aged 8-year. What was it? It's a cask strength and okay, Springs. Yeah, let's go. Okay, this opened up nicely. More sweetness and a bit more rose. Wow, I rarely get rose. Last time I got rose, it was in a Chichibu tasting. Okay, now I can't not get rose. Very floral and sweet on the palate. That's a nice one. What was this one? It's a combination, right? Yeah, bourbon and sherry cask. Okay. All right, I can play with that. It's nice, sweet and caramel balanced, nutty and sweet is balanced. Nice banana notes, even coconut, woody, oaky. It's young, but it's not that difficult. A bit more astringent there, but it's doable. It's doable. Okay, I'm not upset with that. Okay, we're going to this one, 2015. What was this? Sherry butt single cask again. a sherry butt, okay. Opened up more with the water. The burnt plastic notes are there, but calm down. More, yeah, a bit more burnt notes, a bit more charred, but it's still a sherry. No, it completely killed it. I mean, it wasn't great to start with for me anyway, but it completely killed it on the palate. It took away all the other characters, just left with some burnt plastic notes and burnt tires with some char and a lot of sulfur. I do not enjoy that one. Okay, and the last one, it just has a sherry hogshead. The other one was a butt, so more sherry influence on this one. Let's see it. Okay, a bit more sour, a bit more tannic. Astringent notes now. Got more balsamic. So I think I prefer the nose before. Charred notes are there. It's sulfurous. Cinnamon. Okay, on the palate. Beautiful. Absolutely pretty. So nice. The palate really opened up. It was good to begin with, but it opened up. That just tells me that they use a good quality sherry cask, because I'm not saying my palate is so advanced that I detect bad quality sherry cask, but I'm going to say on average whiskeys, if they use sherry finishing, that burnt note really hits me. I don't get that with the Lakes Distillery. I don't get that with good Macallans. When it's good Oloroso cask, and if the seasoning is long, then I'm happy. It's that just generic, like maybe a year or 2 year seasoning. It just gives a very crappy note. This is a good quality active sherry cask with the water. It took away all the sulfurous, all the burnt notes on the palate, and it gave away nice dark jams, mulberry, blackberry, blackcurrant, all sorts of jams or marmalades on top of a toasted bread. It's really nice. Okay, guys, like I said, as raw as it come, it got a bit too long. I'm sorry about this, but this is 5 whiskeys I've never had before. I've never done this before. I hope you connected with it. I don't know if you did, but these are the Ballindalochs I tasted. What am I gonna say? Am I a fan? No, it didn't turn me. Will I buy any right now? Probably not. But I will be, keeping my eye on them. And if anyone comes up with a new cask, and I'll be interested to try, as I would be with new distilleries. But it's promising, shall we say? It's promising. And yeah, I'm gonna keep it at that. Let me know if you tried any Ballindaloch. Let me know, please, if you tried any of these. And let me know if you like this format. There's not going to be more opportunities to do this, maybe 1 or 2 throughout the channel's life. But I hope you didn't get bored. If you did, whatever, we have other videos. All right, guys, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It does mean a lot. And I shall see you guys on the next one. Cheers.